friends, as you know, every notarization does not hold the same weight. Do you know? Maybe you don't know. Maybe it's the first time you've heard this. I don't know. Notarizing a permission slip does not hold the same weight as notarizing a quitclaim deed, right? Like, they are going to have like two very different types of consequences if something goes wrong. So today we're going to talk about high risk notarizations, and there are three types of documents that not only can this mistake, it's more than an inconvenience, right? It can cost you property, your client's property, their finances, medical decisions, and it can put you at risk, your commission, lawsuits. We don't want any of that jazz, right? So some of those three documents that are very high risk of fraudulent activity, number one is going to be real estate. You LSAs, everyone wants to go out there, be a loan signing agent, notary signing agent, closer, whatever you call it in your area. Those are high risk documents, especially on the sell side, right? The seller side. On the seller side, you have the deed fraud. You don't know who it's going over to. We want to make sure that everyone is who they say they are. They are willingly participating in the notarization. They know what they're styling, right? They're willingly signing it. They are who they say they are. Those are things that are very important. One thing that I use when I'm checking IDs, at least, I use this. I have like a little short of when I bought this. In New Jersey, there are like holographs on the IDs. That's how you can tell that they're real. So I use this on those IDs, and other IDs have them too, but I'm in Jersey, and that's something that I know about the IDs when you're checking them. So I have this on me, and there are ID books that once different states update their IDs, it shows you what to look for, that it is a legitimate form of ID. So that's something that I use when I'm doing all documents, when I am identifying signers. I use that for their ID. And of course, in regards to asking those questions of whether they're willingly signing the documents, that's like very important. Do they understand what's going on? Super important. And we don't, like, again, real estate is transferring of money, property. It's very expensive. Hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars are going down, being transferred in an instant. And all it took was this stamp, a stamp that looks so unintimidating, looks so harmless, can do a lot of things, do a lot of damage. So we want to make sure that we are taking those types of notarizations very seriously. We want to make sure that we're also not only IDing them properly and making sure that they know, we also want to make sure that we're notarizing them correctly, because unlike real estate, where there tends to be so much more eyes, right? If it's a signing service, they're checking it. The title company is checking it. The lender is checking the documents. And then it goes to the county, right? And you can still, by the time if it does kick back, hopefully no one has passed, but if the documents kick back, you can check it. But there's so many eyes that would likely catch it before it even reaches the county anyway, so that you can fix that, something like that, like ASAP. Whereas going into my next one are estate planning documents. Estate planning documents, if you fudge that up, you do your incorrect certificate, your loose certificate, filling them out incorrectly, doing things like that, if no one might not realize it until the person passes, and now it's too late, it cannot be fixed. So when I'm doing them, I double, triple check. I mean, it's real estate documents too, but estate planning documents, I always try to make sure that I am looking at every page. I had a really big one not too long ago. Normally there are only a few documents, I would say like 16 pages max for each party. No, 8 pages for each party, so 16 pages in total, right? When I'm doing this with like couples, that's what that looks like. And most recently I had estate planning documents that was as big as a loan package. It was 244 pages. That was the biggest estate plan that I've ever done. But you're looking for the initials, making sure that like I said, the notary certificates are filled out. Are they filling out as the trustee? Do they need to add something like that at the end of their name? You have to ask, because this is going to be done, scanned, sometimes scanned, and no one's going to know if there's an issue until someone has moved on, someone has passed, someone has expired. You will not know. So it's very important, again, to double check, triple check. I know all the time some of these things just feel easy. We just fill it out, stamp, go about our way. But I always triple check any document I do, high risk or not, because I know you never know what's going to happen, right? If you watch my Qatar story of my doing my apostille that like I went to 6 different states doing that, it was rejected and we lost a week on that transaction because the original notary did not notarize the documents appropriately. They messed up their notary certificate and we couldn't fix it. So imagine if that involved, and it had to deal with what is it called? Trademark? I think it was, no, a patent. So I had to deal with a patent. They just re-signed it. But imagine if that was a power of attorney that involved someone's financials and someone realized it was wrong. You can't fix that. You cannot fix that. So please make sure when you're doing estate planning documents, real estate documents, that you're on your P's and Q's. And the third type of document also you can see in estate planning documents are going to be power of attorneys. Power of attorneys I see very often, very last minute. This is also where you gotta keep your head on a swivel. You have to make sure that you're 100% comfortable with asking questions of, do they know what day it is today? I've more often done the power of attorneys outside of estate planning documents. I'm doing them inside a nursing facility, a hospital. I'm inside locations like that where are you aware? Do you know what's going on? Do you know what you're signing? Right? Because these documents involve, again, someone's your financial power over you. Making your medical decisions, doing things like that. So you really, really want to make sure you're on your P's and Q's with being in that situation. And then often there are also elderly. They're elderly people, so you need to make sure that their family members aren't trying to take advantage of them. Again, this involves property, finances, medical decisions. It's super important, and no one wants to, figure out that there's a mistake and now there's nothing that you can do about it. Protect yourself, your commission, your reputation is super important. We don't want to get caught up in things like this. Please make sure that you are taking extra precaution on every single signing. Of course, I'll double check a permission slip if I have to, but I'm definitely always making sure that I am vigilant and taking whatever precaution that I need when I'm doing real estate documents, power of attorneys, estate planning documents. I feel like, especially like the estate planning and POAs, they always feel very intimidating when I get that phone call because I don't know what situation that we're going to be in. Sometimes it's not the signer actually calling themselves. So you're like, I really hope that when I get there, the signer knows what's going on. I have not been in a crazy situation yet, right? But I've been there to ask all the questions. I'm not afraid to answer the questions because I'm not putting myself, my commission at risk, and my reputation. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments, subscribe, share with the notary friend that you think can use this. And always, thanks for watching. Bye.